to talk about something today I'm going to call pragmatic optimism. Pragmatic optimism. Now, what's that mean? Well, first, the pragmatic part is facing reality. This is not the time for happy talk. No motivational speeches or rah-rah jumping up and down or positive thinking is going to make this go away. You've got to face the reality that is out there. And this is tough. And I would like to say, gee, I believe it's all going to get better next week. I don't think it's going to get better next week. I think it's going to be a long, hard road that we're facing. And I think you have to face the reality that's there. On the other hand, optimism, what does that mean? We need to make the best. We need to make the best of what we have. Now, I'm going to begin, for those of you, especially from India, talking about a parable called the Gita. The Gita. Probably the most widely read parable in history, the Gita, because I think there are great learnings from the Gita that can help you make it through this crisis. In the Gita, the story begins with Arjuna and Krishna, and Arjuna is talking about his terrible situation. And he has two choices, bad and worse. Bad and worse. Neither choice is a good choice. And he's sharing his woes. This is terrible. I have two choices, bad and worse. Now, the story is supposed to be a story about a war, but it's really not about a war with the outside. It's about a war we have in ourselves, a war in our souls. And Krishna is listening to Arjuna, and basically, he really lays out the principles of pragmatic optimism. The first thing he says is, what is, is. And that's the first thing we'll tell you about this crisis. Don't sugarcoat this. It's tough. Don't play games with people. What is, is. One thing I found that really is more important today than ever is authenticity. I mean, I've given thousands of presentations, and I always try to put on a good show and have slides and everything and have everything be accurate. I think people today, that's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for some fancy presentation. They just want somebody to tell the truth. So I think one thing that's really important today is just facing what is. Facing what is. Now, in our story, there's bad versus worse. And what is the advice? The first advice is you face what is. You have two choices. They're bad and they're worse. Okay, that's right. It is what it is. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't hide from it. Accept the hard reality that exists. Then, after you do that, what's the next message? You develop a strategy. And I'm going to talk about today. Develop a strategy as a human that fits your purpose in life. In business, it fits your business strategy. Then you do your best, which in life is all we can ever do. You do your best. And then finally, you make peace with the results. Now, a couple of suggestions for you right now. Make peace. The first thing I want to suggest for many people listening to me is forgive yourself. Some of you might be thinking, gee, I wish I'd saved more money. I wish our business had thought of this. We should have planned for this and this. Number one, forgive yourself for what you did. What is. And number two, forgive other people for being who they are. I'm sure that certain politicians screwed things up and didn't do what they should have. Well, okay, you don't have to like it or agree with it. You can campaign against it if you want to. That's perfectly okay. Don't carry it around. Don't let it infect you. Forgive other people for being who they are. You don't have to like them or agree with them. You do need to accept who people are. You need to accept yourself and forgive yourself for what you may or may not have done. You need to just make peace with what is.